Aloha everybody and welcome back to Vision Quest Astrology, here for another awesome Astroblasto video. And this is going to be the first after the intro series on the Quadrants of Astrology. And in this one we are going to be doing, lo and behold, the first quadrant of astrology. You know, for all the dumb and paired out there like myself, sometimes we need a little bit more explanation than others. Alright, but seriously, yes, going into the first quadrant of astrology, probably my favorite one of them all, but then again, all three are so important. So the first quadrant is dealing with the first house through the fourth house, and which are ruling over the signs of Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. Yeah, I had to think about that a little bit for a second. It's quite simple. I find the first quadrant is all about the self. Everyone's like, oh, that's only the ascendant or the first house or Aries, but no, it really goes through the whole first quadrant, the first four signs, the first four houses. It's all dealing with yourself, me, myself, and I. This is a very important quadrant because it is the foundation that lays out for the rest of your life. You can't go out into relationships, into the world, into jobs, into traveling, and whatever you want to do unless you have a foundation on the bottom that can support you. So your first house is where you're going to find this. This is where you are coming into your own. This is who you are on a very surface level. It is a very readily and accessible, easy part to find and to see. Without this sense of self, there is a sense of not belonging in the world. There is a sense of, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You start to realize what you like and what you don't like when you get over to the second house and when you get over to that area of life that is about self-worth. It is all about, you know, what makes me comfortable, what feels good, what doesn't feel good, the things that I value and the things that I don't value, and, you know, what's meaningful to me. It's not about what's meaningful to other people. It's not about what's meaningful out in the world or to your friend or your partnership or your neighbor. It's about what is meaningful to you. This is a big place where we lay our foundations, because if we don't have our likes and our dislikes and our needs and our not needs, then how are we going to be able to explain that to other people if we don't know it ourselves? It's also in this realm that we're dealing with money a lot. We're seeing, okay, this is what I spend money on this, I don't spend money on that. This is how much I have to spend on this. This is how much I don't have to spend on that. Really figuring out what's important. Your resources really get found in the second house. Your resources and your materials and your assets and your belongings and all those things that belong to you. They're not your personality, but they are items that belong to you. They may be internal, and a lot of the time they're going to be external. It's very important for us to know how to communicate in this world. It's very important for us to know how to filter things through our mind and how to gather information and to synthesize it and to verbalize that with other people and to verbalize it to ourselves. That's what we start doing in the third house. That's what we start learning to do with Gemini. And that is gathering and collecting and synthesizing and taking in information and absorbing it. And being like a messenger that can communicate that to other people. But before you can communicate it to other people, which is more so what the seventh house in Libra is doing, you are learning to process it in your mind. This is your mind. No one else is in here. People can't read your thoughts unless you're telepathic, which maybe you are. I don't know. If you are, please give me some tips. I'd love to know. You're going to learn to know how your own mind works, what your mental patterns is, what kind of thoughts you have, whether they're positive ones or negative ones. You know, you are taking in the information and you are transmuting it from there, and you gonna do something with it, hopefully. So then after thoughts, we have feelings, because it is my personal belief that all feelings stem from a thought or a belief. And so when we get to the fourth house and to Cancer, we are dealing with my feelings, my emotions, what I feel inside. You know, this is where we get kind of crabby in life, and where our sensitivity comes from. It's our nature, our intuition, and our gut hunches, and our sixth sense, so to speak. You know, I feel like we all have that. I'm not going to get all woo-woo here, but, you know, it is there. It's in this realm that, you know, we're identifying with this makes me feel good or this makes me feel bad. This makes me feel a certain way, this makes me feel that way. And you are distinguishing between different emotions and different feelings and how to get in touch with your own emotional world. These are all things that are personal. They are personified in the self. They are found right here. You don't have to go out there to another person or to the world at large and in the community to find these things. To me, that's what the first quadrant really is about. It is that baseboard down here at the beginning where we are one individual person. It's our individual self, individual thoughts, individual emotions, individual resources, and everything. And it's from there that we can then go over to the second quadrant when it starts getting relational and start relating. We can relate to another because we have first learned how to relate to ourselves. Yes! So there you have it, my fellow astro lovers. That is the first quadrant of astrology for you. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer, first, second, third, and fourth house. That is what falls into this realm. Stay tuned and come back for my next video on the second quadrant of astrology. And until then, if you are interested in a discounted chart reading, please visit my website down in the link below, visionquesthealing.com. And leave comments on what kind of videos y'all want to see and what you have thought of this one. Thank you for taking the time to watch my dorky astro self. Much love and aloha to all of you. Happy transiting.